making AI run on Apple, one byte at a time. Welcome back to the One Byte Magician. If you're on Apple Silicon and tired of hearing "this requires NVIDIA," you're in the right place. Today, we're installing MusicGen from Meta on an M2 MacBook. MusicGen is Meta's open-source AI music generator, perfect for creating background music, game soundtracks, YouTube intros, or lo-fi beats to study to. It's not built to create full lyric-based songs, but you can always mix it with a TTS tool if you want to try adding vocals yourself. Let's check out the GitHub page. It's titled MusicGen Simple and Controllable Music Generation. According to the repo, MusicGen is part of Meta's AudioCraft project and is described as a single-stage autoregressive transformer for music generation. Basically, a text-to-music model. One important note, AudioCraft requires a GPU with at least 16 gigabytes of VRAM for inference. Since MusicGen runs on AudioCraft, that requirement applies here too. Here's the thing, most tutorials assume you have a Windows machine with a $2,000 NVIDIA GPU. But if you're on a Mac, crickets, the resources just aren't there. So today, I'm giving you the exact step-by-step process to get this running on Apple Silicon. No guesswork, no figure it out yourself, just the magic. By the end of this video, you'll have MusicGen installed and generating music. Let's take that first bite. Before we touch MusicGen, we need to talk about Python. This is where most Mac users hit a wall. MusicGen may run on newer Python versions, but on macOS I encountered repeated dependency and wheel issues with 3.11 and 3.12. Python 3.10 installed cleanly and provided the most stable setup. If you want the least friction, use 3.10. So step 1. Get Python 3.1t on your machine. The cleanest way, Homebrew. First, let's check if you have Homebrew installed. Open Terminal and type brew version. If you see a version number, you're good. If not, paste this command to install Homebrew. Once Homebrew is ready, install Python 3.10. Homebrew installs it as Python 3.10x. Important to remember. Verify it worked. You should see Python 3.100x. If you do, we're ready for the next step. Now, a critical warning. If you use Conda, you need to exit it completely. Conda can cause conflicts with the dependencies we're about to install. Just deactivate Conda, run this twice to be sure. Your prompt should no longer show base. If it's gone, you're clean. Now, let's create a virtual environment. This keeps our MusicGen install isolated from your system Python, meaning no conflicts later. This creates a folder called MusicGen with its own Python installation. Now activate it. Verify you're using the right Python. Should say Python 3.10x. Perfect. We're in the right sandbox. Time to install the foundation. First, upgrade pip and install NumPy, but specifically NumPy version 1.x, not 2. MusicGen requires NumPy less than 2, but I had luck with 2.2.6. Next, PyTorch. This is what actually runs the model on your Mac's GPU, the M-series chip. Now, the main event, AudioCraft, Meta's library that contains MusicGen. The noteps flag is important. It tells pip to install AudioCraft, but revni not its automatic dependencies. Why? Because the automatic dependencies include CUDA-only packages that will break on Mac. We're going to handpick only what we need. Here is the dependency set that worked on my MacBook M2, Python 3.10.19. This gives MusicGen everything it needs, and nothing it doesn't. Now it's time to verify our installation works. Now, here's where most people quit. If you try to run MusicGen right now, you'll likely hit an error, because the latest version of AudioCraft assumes you have NVIDIA libraries. The solution: use version 1.3.0 is one of them. It's the last stable version that plays nice with Mac. First, remove what we just installed. Check that it's gone. If it prints none, you're clean. Now install v1.3.0. And add the minimal dependencies. Notice we didn't install Xformers or Spacey, or any CUDA packages. That's intentional, we don't need them. You might still see error here. MusicGen v1.3.0 still tries to import Xformers, a library for NVIDIA GPUs. We need to tell it to stop. We could do that by setting this environment variable. To make this permanent so you don't have to type it every time, add it to your shell profile. But wait, there's one more Xformers trap. The file transformer ppi has a hard import that ignores our environment variable. We need to patch it. Open the file. Place the import code around line 23. Find this function around line 737. Just insert this line right after the function name. Return false. That's it. Save it, then exit. Now for the moment of truth. Let's test if MusicGen loads properly. Run this Python script. If you see Python 3.10x MPS true, MusicGen loaded OK. Congratulations, you've successfully installed MusicGen on Apple Silicon. You just did what most tutorials say is impossible. Let's generate something real quick to prove it works. I had one example Python. Let's run it. Now launch the UI from this URL. Let's choose one example, a relaxing piano and strings melody for meditation. In about 20 seconds, you'll have an 8-second synthwave track saved to your folder. Pure AI-generated music running entirely on your Mac. Now play it. Pretty cool, right? Let's choose another one, upbeat pop music with catchy melody. Now play it. Awesome. One more, Jazz trio with piano, bass, and drums. And play it. And that's how you install MusicGen on Apple Silicon. If this video saved you hours of debugging, hit that like button. Subscribe for more tutorials on running AI tools on Mac because the world doesn't revolve around NVIDIA. Next time, we're tackling maybe Hartmula on Mac. You won't want to miss it.
My shoes feel heavier today.
Making AI run on Apple, one byte at a time. Thanks for watching. Stay magical.
Never look back. The terminal crashed, but I held on tight. Now MusicGen's running at last tonight, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.